Volvo XC40 2025 review. A car that seems to only get better with age. It's no understatement to say it was the Volvo XC40 that changed this Swedish brand's image. It might not have introduced Thomas Ingenlath's transformative design, but it was this small SUV that ran with it and got those Thor's hammer lights in front of buyers. Somewhat remarkable, considering how fresh the XC40's design still looks. This SUV is now 8 years old, but sales show absolutely no signs of slowing. Volvo produced its millionth example in 2024, and it remains the best-selling premium compact SUV by some margin. Running rings about the Mercedes GLA and BMW X1 in terms of sales. These is not even a faint mention of it getting the axe just yet. Either, but 8 years is a long time. And considering most of its rivals are far newer, 2 generations of Audi Q3 have been launched while the XC40 has been on sale. Is it still able to keep up with the best? At a glance. Pros: comfortable and refined. Effortlessly classy design. Useful and practical. Cons: limited engine choice and no new PHEV. Interior starting to feel a touch old. What's new? While the latest Volvo XC40 doesn't look too much different to the car that was shown in 2017. The lineup has dramatically chopped and changed over the years as the market has evolved. The XC40 is old enough that when it was first launched most examples sold were diesels. That's changed, of course, with DERV models not being available since 2020. A plug-in hybrid arrived and went, and the electric XC40 is now called the Volvo EX40. The XC40 adopted an Android-powered touchscreen a few years ago, featuring inbuilt Google Maps and voice control, while later in 2025 it will get a new generation of software which promises a big improvement in response time. It's the same setup you'll find on the latest XC90, and will even be rolled out to existing XC40s running the Google setup. Volvo has also kept the XC40 on trend with a Stealth Black Edition version, bringing monochrome exterior styling courtesy of black 20-inch alloy wheels, a black grille and a black Volvo badge to tempt in the Audi crowd. What are the specs? Outside of the electric EX40, the XC40 is only available with a choice of 2 mild hybrid petrol engines these days, hailed V3 and V4. Every new XC40 also now uses an 8-speed automatic and front-wheel drive, meaning if you want a manual or AWD version you'll have to look to used examples. Cars such as the BMW X1 and Mercedes GLA offer far more choice. Both engines are 2.0-liter turbocharged 48-volt mild hybrids, with the B3 putting out 161 bhp and 195 pound-feet of torque, while the B4 takes it up to 194 bhp and 221 pounds, featuring accelerating to 62 miles per hour takes 8.3 seconds with the B3 and a second less for the B4. With both having a top speed cap to 112 miles per hour for safety reasons. Only traffic police cars have the limiter removed. Claimed fuel economy for both is around 42 mpg, a figure we found quite easy to match in normal driving with the B4. CO2 emissions of 149 to 164 grams per kilometer seem quite high for what is a compact SUV, though, while the XC40's old PHEV setup was dire. It now feels like a good plug-in hybrid would work wonders to this lineup. How does it drive? Safe and predictable is the best way to describe how the Volvo XC40 behaves behind the wheel. It's at its best jinking through traffic or cruising on the open road. Ride quality is best on cars fitted with the smallest alloys, but even on the large 20-inch rims fitted to our Black Edition test car, the ride remains settled for the most part, and it's quiet on the move. Only at high motorway speeds do you tend to notice more road noise. The B4 engine is the one to go for, especially given the fairly small price increment it attracts over the B3. It's brilliantly smooth and you can hardly hear it for the most part. And while the engine turns off while coasting, it's not quite so advanced as the ETSI mild hybrid setup you'd find on a Volkswagen Tiguan. For example, it's only if you start asking too much from the XC40 that it begins to struggle. The gearbox is very smooth and normal driving, but can be hesitant when you want to pull away from a junction or roundabout in a hurry. The steering is trusty and easy but offers little in the way of feedback. Though there is the option to have a firm setting, which we appreciate when out of town. The XC40's safety assists are also superb, having one of the best adaptive cruise controls I've encountered. It also has possibly the easiest way of disabling the infuriating speed bombing assist. A press of the left arrow on the steering wheel is all that's needed. What's it like inside? It's a testament to how timelessly designed the XC40 was that, even after 8 years, the interior still manages to look modern and classy. It's not filled with giant touchscreens and fancy ambient lighting in the same way as a Mercedes GLA, for example, but clear digital dials and a Google-powered touchscreen are present with inbuilt Google Maps and Google Assistant. The screen looks a bit small these days, admittedly, and it shows its age by not having wireless Apple CarPlay. Yet it's still easy to use, and will be improved further when Volvo's update is introduced in 2025. The quality is solid, though lacks the plusher feel of a Volvo XC60 or 90. Unsurprisingly, with the excellent seats being a highlight, especially the extendable squabs and plentiful adjustment, it also ticks all the right boxes for those looking for a small family SUV. It's better suited to carrying 4 people than 5, but the XC40's boxy shape and high roofline ensure plenty of headroom in the back. The 443-liter boot isn't the largest in this segment, but it's a useful shape with storage room beneath. Before you buy, trims and rivals. When the XC40 launched in 2017, you could pick it up for less than £28, and while we won't get too hung up on why are new cars so expensive, today the cheapest new model starts from £36.840. The trim levels are a bit confusing. There's Core, Plus, Pro and Ultra. On all but the cheapest Core trim you can then have it in a Black Edition, Grey, bringing darkened styling and 20-inch black alloys for around £700 more. All models come with a reversing camera, heated front seats and adaptive cruise control, with the Plus trim adding a heated steering wheel, blind spot monitoring, keyless entry and heated rear seats. We think a B4 model in this trim represents the best value at £42.810. Above this, Plus Pro gains leather upholstery, matrix LED headlights and a 360-degree camera system, with the top-spec Ultra featuring a panoramic glass roof and Harman Kardon sound system. Key rivals for the XC40 mainly come from Germany with the Audi Q3, BMW X1 and Mercedes GLA, though we also recommending looking at the latest Mini Countryman and Range Rover Evoque. Verdict: Volvo's ICE lineup is really starting to show its age. The last new non-EV it launched was back in 2018, the V60, but classy styling continues to work wonders for its product lineup. The XC40 is no exception to that rule, even as it approaches a decade on sale. This practical and comfortable crossover continues to remain one of the best cars in its segment. And little wonder it remains so popular. If you like the most cutting-edge tech, its newer German rivals are probably more your thing. But if you want a hassle-free small family SUV, the XC40 is very easy to recommend even all these years later.